kinda wear it tight. Button up from 9 to 5. I tried that life but said goodbye. I'm not always polite, but I get the job done. Who says this world can never be fun? I'm simply unprofessional. Simply unprofessional.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Simply Unprofessional. I am your host, Webby, and joining me tonight, we got Devin.
Hey, everybody. I'm Devin. What's going on?
He's apparently dying.
He's dying. Devin just woke up.
Devin
Devin just woke up from a 7-hour lap nap, is what we're calling it. It's like a lap dance, but way more comfortable, and you get rest.
Mm-hmm.
Also joining me tonight, we got Edquist.
Hey, it's me. Here to steal Devin's job.
So, real quick, Edquist, I just want to let you know, me and Clay get a chuckle out of it every time. When we're playing Ark, right? There is a horse in that game that you can tame. And it's called like an Edquist, an Equus. And every time I say Edquist, I'm like, I just can't help but think of Edquist. So I'm just taming an Edquist over and over again.
Can we just rename the horse to the Austin?
The Austin.
The Austin.
If and when I ever tame this horse, I will name it Austin's horse.
Appreciate it.
So, anyway, yeah, I just wanted to share that real quick. It made me laugh. So tonight we got another 25 list thing. The last one me and Edquist did was the top 25 strangest islands, I guess, around the world. Some of them really weren't that strange, but I remember there was the one where if you don't do it, you're gonna get a plaque disease or something.
Brush your teeth. Oh, you said Fire Island.
You're gonna get plaque psoriasis? Like what?
Well, there was a typo. There was a typo. Yeah. It meant plague, but they put
plaque. So if you had plaque, you were sent to this island. I was like, oh, you better brush your teeth.
It was a good time.
Brush and floss twice a day. We sent to this island.
So
that wasn't a mistype. That's really what happens. They just tell little kids that, like, if you don't brush your teeth, I'm gonna send your ass to this island.
I still like, what was it? The Fiji. It's like, oh, so disrespectful to old people and children. It's like,
damn, yeah, that was like the most vile compared to like cannibalism.
Cannibalism and torture.
Cannibalism, torture, but they're very disrespectful to the elderly and children. Oh, jeez.
Anyway, so this evening we're gonna talk about a top 25 anime list. These are 25 best animes of all time that you will want to see, according to this list.
This list is very subjective.
Listen, we're going to go through
Hold on. That's fine. It's subjective, and I actually had nothing to do with this topic. So
true. Normally, this is not like the other anime SUs that we do, where Devin gives us animes to watch and then we discuss them as a group. This is a different list, and we're going to hear Devin and Edquist's opinions on these animes, and they're going to kind of tell me if they know a little bit about it and whether or not it's worth watching. There are maybe on this 25 list, maybe 4 that I could tell you anything about. So we'll find out. The first one is called One Piece. Devin, do you know anything about this anime?
I do.
Take it away.
One Piece is a collection. It's about a collection of pirates. Basically, Luffy, Sanji, Usopp. What is the Nami, and what is the dude's name that kicks a lot? Who's the kicking? That was Sanji. Sanji, Zoro. There we go. Zoro was the sword guy. Sanji was the kicking guy. I got him reversed.
Is Luffy the main character?
Luffy's the main character. They call him. They're called the Straw Hat Crew because Luffy wears a straw hat.
Is Luffy related to Yuffie from Final Fantasy VII?
No.
Damn.
So effectively, Luffy goes on. Luffy and the Straw Hat pirate crew go on a sail to find what's called the Grand Line. The Grand Line is basically because it explains the show. It explains the show in the beginning of the first episode of every opening. There was a pirate called Jolly Roger. He's supposed to be the king of pirates. He died, and his treasure was lost forever, somewhere supposedly in the Grand Line. So he's sailing. All these pirates are sailing, looking for the Grand Line, trying to get there. Their main enemies are the Marines. They're fighting against the Marines, and in this world there are fruit that gives you powers. But here's the kicker: when you eat a fruit and the fruit gives you powers, you basically lose the ability to swim. You just sink fast and hard in water. So they're pirates that some of them sink in water. Luffy, for instance, ate a fruit called the Gomu Gomu no Mi, or the Gum Gum fruit. Basically, he is Plastic Man, but slightly more ridiculous. Oh no, not Plastic Man. Oh yeah, actually no, that's right, Plastic Man. I was thinking of give you a more relevant reference or current reference in Plastic Man. I was going to say he's basically Ralph from Flash.
Oh, okay, so stretchy. Okay.
He's super stretchy. Yep, super stretchy. Although it's kind of like it's anime, so they elevate it to the next level. But yeah, he's super stretchy.
But yeah, he can't swim, and he sinks super fast. He couldn't just turn his body into paddles and
It doesn't matter. It's the side effect of the fruit.
That's fucked
that
up.
When you eat it, you there's a dude that literally controls water, and he gets in the water, he also sinks. Yeah, it's fucked up. So if you knock him overboard, they fucked unless they can figure their way out of water. So if he's knocked overboard, usually Luffy has to stretch his way out of water somehow. But yeah, I mean it's pretty good.
Now, how long do they have the powers for?
Forever. They're forever.
Can you ever give up your powers and gain the ability to swim again?
You can. I can't remember off the top of my head. I know. I'm assuming so. Yeah, yes and no, because there was an individual who was killed and his powers were stolen, and then there was another individual after somebody else was killed. He also ate the fruit. So I don't know if the fruits are, once they're eaten, they're taken off the board forever until that person dies and the fruit will regrow or reappear, or if there's some rituals out there that would take it away. But I know somebody got their power stolen, and I know somebody after they died, somebody also obtained that same power. So,
you know what I would do if I was told, "Hey, here's this banana that will give you superpowers. You're not exactly sure which one it'll give you, but you'll have some form of power."
You're basically sure which one it'll give you.
Oh, okay, even better.
Only because when all the name of the fruit gives you a good hint of what it is. Like I said,
like gum, stretchy,
the gum fruit. Yeah.
All right, so even better. You know what I would do if someone said, "Oh, here's a banana that will give you this specific superpower, but afterwards you can't swim and you'll sink super fast." You know what I would do? Stop being a goddamn pirate. I would move inland, somewhere safe where there's no water.
I mean, and there is definitely some people that do that, but it's like, and let me explain that the caveat of them not being able to swim is, it's more of just not a one-off comment, but it is definitely more of it is rarely played up for, plot downfall.
Okay.
Rarely.
Right. So it's like quicksand. It's like quicksand. It's like, oh, we know that's dangerous, but you never fucking see quicksand ever.
Right. I mean, it may pop up every now and again, but there's only a few people who probably can straight up just ignore that rule of drowning in water. There's a guy called Smoker. He literally turns into smoke, so he can just turn into smoke and fucking just fly away. He literally, I think his fruit is called the smoke fruit. You can always tell, kind of what the fuck these are. I can spend the entire episode talking about this, so I'm not gonna spend too much longer on it. There's the main premise of the show. Devil fruit gives people powers. Some people have powers, some people don't have powers, but it's anime, so everybody has powers.
See, everybody has the power of swimming until they give that up for a different power.
Not even just that. I mean, like you have Zoro and Sanji who haven't eaten fruits, but they can fight people who have eaten fruits. Like Zoro's a sword master who holds a sword in his mouth. He
like I won't lie. If I lived in this anime, I would eat a fruit because me as a person, I can't swim. So
there you go. You're like, fuck it. I mean,
nothing's super changing anyway. I might as well just get superpowers out of it.
Yeah, so some of these fruits, like the Mirror no Mi is the flame fruit, and it looks like a flame. And these fruits are notoriously hard to get down because they taste terrible.
Okay.
So it's like, good luck. But yeah, there's 3 kinds of fruits. Well, there's the artificial, but there's 3 classifications of fruits. There's Paramecia, Zone, and Logia. Paramecia fruits are the most common. They give you usually some type of superhuman physical ability or traits. Zone users, they get the ability to transform or acquire traits of animals. So there's one dude called Marco Phoenix who literally can turn into a phoenix. He turns to like a fucking phoenix, and he has flames that regenerate himself. Pretty dope, cool. I like him.
All right.
And then there's the Logia type, which is the rarest, and they basically mimic elements.
All right. So they're Captain Planets of the...
Basically, like ice, sand, mud, syrup. Yeah, I said syrup.
I was just going to say syrup. All right.
Gases,
really good if you're teamed up with French Toast Man or Powdered Toast Man from Ren and Stimpy.
Yep, Powdered Toast Man. There you go. Gases like fire, smoke, poison gas, energy like lightning. There's one dude that literally moves at the speed of light. He can attack and move at the speed of light.
I hope he can slow down.
He can.
Okay, that's good.
His whole body, he's basically living light. So he can, he can do all that. In terms of getting into One Piece, you can do it. It's an investment because there's, I want to say either 700 or 1,000 episodes and counting.
All right. Do you recommend it? Like, is it a decent anime?
There are, with any long anime like that, there are episodes that there are arcs. There are not even just filler. There are arcs that are just not good.
Okay.
And then there are arcs that are great. So if if you're on board, you're on board for the long haul. I know me as I get older in life, I prefer anime kind of more along the lines of, and just I mean, I think you guys will like it because the feel of the show is very much the feel of the show is very similar to Seven Deadly Sins in terms of just how, like, the comedy, the action, it's very similar. So I think if you guys enjoyed that, you would enjoy this.
All right.
It's just 1,000 episodes of it.
Edquist, do you have anything else on One Piece before we move to the next one?
I have never seen it, so no.
Okay.
It's been running since 1999, when the original manga came out in like the early 1997. It's been running since 1999 and present currently has 828 episodes. And yeah, so I mean, it's 820 episodes, and I think how many seasons is that? There's 50. It's on its 19th season. So there you go. Anime seasons are weird though; they get broken down really weird. So one season may be like 20 episodes, one season may be like 120 episodes. But anime seasons are weird.
All right. Well, moving on from that, number 24 on our list is No Game, No Life. I'll read the little description down here. It says, this brilliant anime can be addicting for gamers thanks to its unique plot and concept of a fantasy world where almost everything is governed by specific rules which one must follow at all times. The two protagonists are siblings named Shiro and Sora, who are violently transported to a different world that is run by games, and where they must develop a lifestyle to survive in a world where games are not so cool and innocent. Edquist, do you know anything about this?
No.
Devin, do you know anything about this?
Welcome to the Simply Devin show. No, I'm kidding. Give you an idea about this show. I hadn't seen this show. This show's in my Crunchyroll queue to watch, but I do know a little bit about it. So it's two siblings. They are basically gaming legends. Like they're any games they touch, they're amazing at. They're kind of like the boogeyman and myth amongst other gamers.
Okay.
As in people wonder if they actually exist, things like that. They're really supposedly. It's a short. I know it's a shorter anime. It's like 12 episodes. Yeah, they're both neats, which that comes up a common theme in anime. Is in terms of being a neat. Now, do you guys know what neats are in real life?
I do not.
So a neat, spelled NEET, it stands for it's targeted usually at young people. But they will blanket across people. So around any age really, but it stands for non-education, employment, or training. So basically, it's people who sit at home all day, by choice.
Okay.
And usually, to an extent, Kirito, he got Kirito in Sword Art Online. He's a neat. There's to an extent. There's needs pop up a lot in anime usually. But yeah, so their needs they kind of stay at home in their homebodies. They're effectively, to a lack of a better, more modern term, they're the king of games, and I think they get sucked into another world, where they play a variety of different games, but each game has a very the stakes are high. The stakes be high.
All right.
So, like I said, I don't know too much more about that, but there you go.
All right. Well, it's on Devin's queue to watch. Maybe you should give it a watch.
Yeah, I mean it's a short watch. You can kill it. You can kill it in an afternoon, about 3 hours.
All right. Number 23 on our list, Psycho-Pass. Now, this one was recommended to me by a previous coworker of mine.
It's good.
I was told that I would most likely like it. Edquist, do you know anything about this?
He stepped away.
Oh, he stepped away. Never mind. That's because I know he doesn't. Edquist or Devin.
Psycho-Pass. Actually, really good. I really enjoy Psycho-Pass, and I think you will too. You would actually too. There are 2 seasons of it, and they're coming out this year. Recently, they're announcing. They announced coming out, I think early next year. There's one movie, and then there's a film series coming out that's going to be 3 films.
Like a live action one or an anime film?
I believe it's going to be anime.
Okay.
So effectively, you know anything about Psycho-Pass? He brought a dog with him. That's okay.
That's Tilly, everybody.
Hey, so I think the fire alarm's going off in my building, so I'll be gone for a little bit.
Okay.
Hopefully I'll be back.
All right.
Don't worry. Just climb on my back. I got you.
Devin's going to carry this episode.
It's fine.
So, you have the site open, the link that I shared?
Yes.
Do you want to read the description at the bottom of the Psycho-Pass thing for the listeners?
Sure. Psycho-Pass is a smart series that deeply analyzes free will and whether or not a person's hue, when cloudy, can determine if they will become a threat to society. Using a special weapon known as the Dominator, detectives are able to continuously read and send psychological data to determine a person's crime coefficient. Depending on how clouded a person's hue is, they will either receive mandatory rehabilitation or be executed on the spot. Fans of Minority Report should watch this anime. That is very true.
Let me ask you this.
Mm-hmm.
Do they have a big black man following them around named Farouk, just giving the Dominator to people and murdering them on the sidewalks?
No.
That would be phenomenal, though.
It would be. I agree. So the Dominator in that picture, the Dominator is those guns there.
Those
right?
guns, okay.
Yes. Those guns, if I'm not mistaken, only work when pointed at somebody who has a cloudy hue. Now, if you don't understand the show, let me explain what that is. And we watch this show, think Blade Runner, think Minority Report, that kind of vein of kind of world. You would like this because basically what this does is at this point in the future, they've developed a system where everybody's emotional their EQ effectively, their emotional intelligence is kind of judged. And using that judgment, if it's clear, if it's cloudy, if it's this, that will impact your entire life. If you're at a job and and suddenly you become cloudy for a long period of time, you could get fired. But not even just that. They use that as a pre-basis to judge on whether or not you're capable of committing a crime. and depending on how cloudy it is, they would just kill you on the spot.
Okay.
So before you commit the crime, they would just kill you based on the fact that your mental state says you're capable of committing a crime. Or if
so, okay.
Good.
Knowing me, Devin. Would my aura or hue be cloudy?
I think mine would, and I think half of distractions people's would to a certain extent.
Right.
So then there you go.
Now,
whether or
would
not
mine look
you
like
would
a
be
storm, would mine
whether
look like
or
a
not
storm
you-
cloud that you can't even see through? Because I fucking hate people. I'm dead inside.
whether or not you would be a kill on sight or a mandatory rehabilitation. That's that.
Best guess. Give me your best guess. What in this world? Okay.
Kill on sight.
Okay.
Which is kind of funny because one of the things I think they bring up in one of the episodes is people know because people can tell their hue's cloudy. They can there's I think an armband that reads out what they have, and
so they could try to cheat the system.
They could try.
Okay.
But because they know that their armbands or that they're cloudy, and they know that at a certain point they're kill on sight, they usually start lashing out at that point, like preemptively.
So if they're gonna kill me anyway, I might as well give them a reason to.
Or if they're gonna kill me anyway, I'm not gonna go out without a fight,
right?
And I'm gonna go take hostages and try to talk
like I said, give them a reason to kill them. I gotcha.
Yes.
I'm the same type of way. If the cops ever came for me and said, "Hey, we're not going to give you a reason, but you're under arrest," I'm giving them a reason before I leave my yard. I'm just telling you right now. I'm not going down easy.
I was going to call from Webby. It's like, they were going to bring me in for questioning, but now I got a $2 million bail. Like, what did you do?
All right. So, Psychopath sounds cool. It was cool. Recommended, so I will give it a shot at some point.
Yeah, one of the things that I think is really cool about it is that they actually use one of the things they use is like you see the characters there in the window there. They use like the one choose like three or four dudes in that picture there, 3 or 4 people in that picture there that are technically considered psychopaths, or their hue's cloudy constantly, but they're used by the government to they're called dogs basically to sniff out other people who have. So basically, it's like hiring a serial killer to find a serial killer.
Yeah, it's like hey, very you're like-minded. How would you do this so that way you're better opt to go get this guy?
Exactly.
I gotcha.
So they use them to hunt them down.
Listen here, if the government's listening, because I know the CIA is. Fuck them. I just had this conversation with Clay a little while ago. Instead of just coming and busting in my house and killing me, hire me. I'll work for you. I'll find these other assholes. Okay. Let's talk about this.
Let's talk about this. Let's not do this.
I ain't never going back. Anyway, it's a shout out to Devin and I. Don't worry, it's a joke between me and Devin.
Yep. Speaking of which, Friday.
Sure.
All right.
I don't think I have anything Friday.
I should be home like 3.
Okay.
Make it happen.
All right, so we're gonna move on to number 22. We're gonna get this train rolling here. Akama ga kill.
Yep, Akame ga kill.
I know nothing about this. There's a cool cat lady in there.
I know a lot. I don't know a lot about this. I've seen the show. Never read the manga, but good show. I think it's definitely a good show. It's one of those. It's one of those shows. It's a violent, bloody, fun 24-episode anime.
All right, let me read the thing, and then you tell me if this pretty much hits it spot on. According to reviews, it's quite possible you'll find the first couple episodes boring, but as the story unfolds, it becomes one of the most captivating fighting anime you will ever see. The story focuses on a country boy named Tatsumi, who sets out on a journey to the capital to make a name for himself and meets a seemingly dangerous group of assassins known as Night Raid. Will you join him on his journey?
Yeah, that pretty much sums it up across the board. Good show.
Answer me 2 questions.
Mm-hmm.
3 questions.
Mm-hmm.
Who's the cat chick?
What's her name?
In the picture.
Her name is Leone.
Okay, does she have like special powers or something?
They all do. It's anime.
All right. So like, what is her? Is she just like super agile, like a cat with like indestructible claws?
In the show, there's weapons called tegus, which are basically relics. They're rare, and only some of the strongest warriors can wield them. They're basically like relics and artifacts artifact weapons and relics and stuff created via magic a long time ago.
All right. Her claws are one.
Hers is her belt named Lionel. When activated, it enhances her speed, reflexes, turn to regeneration, as well as giving her animal-like characteristics.
All right.
Yep. And she has a background of being a spy and a manipulator.
And then the second one is who's the chick with the red and black in the middle? That's
the resident, kind of the side main character of the show.
Okay.
And she hacks.
She's a hacker?
No, not really, but her powers are hacked. Like, she uses a sword, and literally the sword has a poison that has no cure. And one slice and you're dead. So she's basically a one-hit kill. She can kill you in one hit.
And lastly, who's the chick in the pink on the left-hand side with the big-ass rifle?
That is... So, I'm not going to spoil it, but that's one of the other members of Night Raid. I'm not going to spoil it, because it pulls a swerve on you. Not the first time in an anime, but it pulls a swerve on you.
All right.
It's not... Yeah, so, she's a trap of a different kind. Put it that way.
All right.
Not the kind you think I'm thinking about.
Okay. All right. Well, I mean, I like fighting animes, like lots of action and stuff. So this sounds like maybe the first couple episodes are going to be boring to me, but eventually it becomes pretty hectic. I take it.
I mean, even the first episodes aren't that boring. Like, if you now, I will say this: that this anime for I said, what is it? 12 episodes? 24 episodes? It is 24 episodes. For it to be a 24 episode, and I'm expecting there to be a second season at some point because they just repicked up a new manga.
Okay.
For it. So I'm expecting it to be a second season at some point. But I mean, at 24 episodes, usually most animes kind of ignore setup.
Yep.
They kind of very openly say, "Hey, this is what our plot is in the first first 5 minutes of the first episode." Sorry, and then they just roll with it from there, and just basically then from there's action on. Looking back at another battle anime, by the way, which you will enjoy this one for a variety of reasons.
Is it on this list?
You know it's not, but Ikitosen.
Okay.
You look into that and you'll enjoy it.
Well, maybe you can add that onto our next Devin anime episodes.
Maybe.
All right, so 22, thumbs up. Akami ga Kill. 21. I know nothing about this. Do you want to take this one?
I know a lot about this. This is one of my shaping. There's a few animes on this list that kind of shaped my anime when I was a kid. This is one of them.
All right.
Rurouni Kenshin, about a wandering samurai. But I will say this: there is the actual anime television show, which is about 100 episodes, give or take. But there is the film. There's a film, and there's a film series called one's just called Rurouni Kenshin: The Motion Picture. One's called New Kyoto Arc. Let me see if I can find one here. Yeah, the OVAs: Trust and Betrayal, Reflection, and the Samurai X movies. 1,000 times better. They're prequels and after anime, but they're 1,000 times better than the actual anime itself. But the anime itself is so great. So let me explain. So, Rurouni Kenshin is about a wandering samurai who used to be he was a ruthless, murderous killer called under the name of Batosai the Manslayer. That's what he went by, and this is during the Meiji era of Japan, which that was kind of the end of the samurai. The Meiji eras were they moved from swords to guns right around that time. It was kind of the last kind of hoorah of the samurai.
Like the last samurai movie.
Effectively, yes. It's right around that time. That's when the Magi came in, the Magistrate, and then we, kind of, there's the Shinsengumi. That's when they fell. I could do a whole episode on the Shinsengumi. In fact, we probably should do an episode on the Shinsengumi. Love to do some Shinsengumi.
I would love to do an episode on something that I can't pronounce.
Look up the Shinsengumi when we're done, and you'll understand. You'll be like, "Oh wow, they're really great. We should do them." I'm like, I agree.
Sure. We do have some Japan listeners out there, so we would love to do another episode about that stuff.
Yes. So Rurouni Kenshin: The Wandering Samurai, or just Rurouni Kenshin, or Samurai X, whatever you want to call it. Great. So after being a manslayer, something happens that kind of breaks him out of his manslayer ways, and he becomes a wandering samurai with a sword that is a reverse blade sword. So effectively, imagine a katana.
Yeah.
And turn it around. So the part that you would be cutting with is on the inside of the blade.
Right.
Is the back of the blade, and the part that actually you usually slash with people is blunt. So he's switched from being a manslayer to using a blunt blade to
But he can still kill if he hits him with the backside of it.
Yeah, there's been a couple times throughout the show where like he'll get fed up and he will threaten to flip the blade, right. Or actually do it. But it's one of those things. But yeah, it's a good show. It's a good battle anime. It's good fun. It's a fun show. I really enjoy it. I mean, it's not a lot to say about it, but it's in terms of it's an older anime. I think personally, it's worth a watch. I'll sit down every few years and rewatch it. It's fun.
As far as Simply Unprofessional goes, you are the resident anime go-to critic. So if you're giving it the thumbs up, then all the listeners should also attempt to go give it a watch. Myself included, but I usually wait until Devin puts this on a list and then I have to watch it. So we'll see.
For content reasons.
All right, so we're going to go down to number 20 on the list.
Which you can talk about.
Which I can talk a little bit about. Not too much. One Punch Man. Now, I will read the little description at the bottom. It says, One Punch Man. I just got a message from Rob. Hold on, listeners. This is live. We're doing this live. Well...
Does Rob still have a place to live?
Well, that's yet to be determined. I asked him. I won't share what's happening just in case he doesn't want me to. One Punch Man follows a hero who can end all his fights with a single punch, and that gets him frustrated. And oh man, does it! Now you might be thinking, what's so interesting about that? Don't you want to see a hero struggling to kill his enemy? Well, not this time. Here you'll see a super overpowered hero struggling to find a stronger enemy, struggling to feel the thrill and adrenaline of the fights he once felt when he was weak. Was his training to become strong not worth it after all? Watch the show and get your answers. Dude, okay, the one thing I can tell you about One Punch Man, this guy dresses like an idiot. He's super bald, and they like zoom in on his shiny bald head all the time. Like they make it a point that it's shiny. He literally can kill anything with one punch. And there's a dude who has balls for a chin in the first episode.
Yeah, no, I mean that's true. That's all true.
That's all I can really tell you.
And I will say this: so like people out there, like they say here, people out there who be like, well, how can they make a guy who can end a fight in one punch interesting? How do you make Superman interesting? Where Superman, in Superman comics, they just throw stronger and stronger enemies at him until everything now is a galaxy-threatening event. Because Superman himself is a galaxy-threatening character. So, in this, what they did was, they made it really interesting. He'll go, they'll work it out where, he'll end fights with one punch, but leading up to that fight, it actually builds suspense. You'll watch the fights, and as soon as he punches him, it's over, but they'll set up the fight and like pace the fight out in such a way where you actually get suspense. And then they'll interject with wonderful characters like Moomin Rider, Right, Webby? You love Moomin Rider.
Is that the ball chin guy?
No, that's the dude in the bicycle that shows up to the fight and got his ass kicked.
Oh, yeah. Now, who's this guy in the picture with the fucking lava arm?
That's Genos.
Okay.
I don't know if you got that far in it. Genos is kind of his sidekick. He's an android that can shoot fire out of his... he's a fire-wielding android called Genos. And he's probably one of the stronger heroes, like next to Saitama.
Okay.
And if you want to hear more about it, One Punch Man, I'm not any too deep in it. Go back and listen to our first anime.
It's true. We actually get pretty in depth, at least on the first episode of that. It'll be our first SU anime episode, I believe, was One Punch Man.
Yep, that was one of the ones. One Punch Man was on there. Yeah.
All right, moving on to number 19. Goose, You're Gonna Kill Me. I don't know much about this episode. Anime either.
This is another one of the ones that formed my anime childhood.
All I know is my friend Aaron loved this show.
I love this show.
The guy has cat ears. That's all I remember.
Dog ears, dude.
Dog ear. My bad. Oh my god.
He is a dog demon.
Oh,
he is a half dog demon.
My god. Okay.
Or a yokai, if you will.
So, Devin, why don't you go ahead and tell them what we're talking about and give them the little description thingy.
I could spend the entire episode, multiple episodes, talking about Inuyasha.
You're gonna have to rein that back. Though,
I'm going to rein it back.
Because we got 18 other ones to discuss.
Inuyasha is great. I love Inuyasha. Basically about it's a story told across time, kind of not really, but legitimately it is, and legitimately it's also not. You just find out what I'm talking about when you watch that. Anyway, point is, Inuyasha. You see the girl on the right, main girl of the show, Kagome. Kagome, who may or may not be a reincarnation of Kikyo. Kikyo is the former love interest of Inuyasha. Inuyasha is the main character. He is a half dog demon, he's half human, half dog demon, and yeah. So basically, he's going out on a journey. I forgot to beat Naraku. Naraku is the guy. There you go. You beat Naraku. And I'm going to read the thing because I just named a lot of crap right there. Kagome, a modern girl from Tokyo, accidentally finds a portal that leads her to medieval Japan, where she meets the half-demon Inuyasha. She decided to help him find a magic crystal and fight the evil demon Naraku. With his virtuous mix of romance, comedy, action, adventure, fantasy, and horror, Inuyasha has managed to gain millions of fans worldwide and is considered a classic in anime circles. That summed it up pretty well. But
would I like it?
Yes, I think you would. I think you would. It's definitely out of the ones I've straight up recommended to you. It is slower paced. I mean, it is before you started seeing like the really epic fights. It is slower paced, but I mean, outside of the fights, the story's great. I love the story of it. The comedy's on point. Yeah, I mean, I think you'd like it. I think you like it, and I think Goose would agree with me. In fact, next time we get Goose on, Goose is available.
Maybe we'll do a full-blown Inuyasha episode. I'll watch at least a few episodes, and then we'll get me, you, and Goose on here, and we'll just talk about Inuyasha.
I would want nothing
and
more.
You guys can yell at me about how I butcher the name, probably.
Inuyasha? No, you're saying it right. I mean, Inuyasha is pretty on point.
The half cat demon. Dog demon. Half dog demon. Dude, those are little ears. Okay, they look like cats.
Little dog ears.
They look like little cat ears.
He winds up traveling with a brigade of people. You can break this down to see how this goes, right? So you have Inuyasha, who is that beaded necklace around his neck. Effectively a dog collar. At any given time, Kagome, who's the girl in the modern Japanese school uniform on the right there, she can tell him to sit. And the necklace would drag his ass face down into the ground.
Oh, so she controls him.
She controls him, yes, because there's a funny story to that. In the original, when she was first popped in there, she was taking a bath in a creek, and he kind of just popped in and was like, yo, what's going on? She screamed, called him a perv, and then shortly after that, put that bead necklace on it.
So based off of his hair,
mm-hmm.
I can officially tell you that I'm under the impression Inuyasha is a younger pervy sage from Naruto.
The real he's actually not that pervy in general. The real pervy guy is the monk behind him.
The one with the gold. Wait, the little kid or the black-haired kid with the weird staff?
The guy with the weird staff. So his power is he has a black hole in his hand.
Okay.
It's called the wind tunnel. And basically, eventually, every time he uses it, it will get bigger and bigger and bigger and threatens to swallow him up totally. In fact, that's what happened to his father. You find that out later in the show. But yeah, he has a wind tunnel. His power legitimately is, and he takes off these rosary beads, and there's a black hole in his hand. It's called the wind tunnel, and he can absorb attacks, arrows, anything into it.
And the more he uses it, the more it will threaten to kill him?
It's a very slow process, but there was a scene at one point where he was absorbing an attack or something, and something basically cut his hand on the way in and kind of ripped it open more. But no, every time you use it, it definitely will. It's a curse. It's a curse on him. It's actually a curse. It's a curse that is useful.
You say that, but I bet he has a hell of a time masturbating.
Well, luckily, I think it's his right hand or his left hand. Maybe he's left-handed. I think it's his right hand. Maybe he's left-handed. But he is very much a pervy monk. He pervs the most on the chick on the right, Sango.
The one in the back.
The one in the back. She uses a giant boomerang. She comes from a clan of demon hunters. She uses a giant boomerang to hunt down demons.
Okay. Does she know that she's in a party with a half demon?
She does. She understands that all demons aren't necessarily bad, or at least she does now.
All right.
Then she rides on a. What is Kira? Is she a fox? No, he's a fox. She's something. Or is Kira also a fox? She rides on a demon called Kira, which is like a little small animal that turns into like a giant riding. I really want to say it's a fox. But I don't think it is, but I really want to say it's a fox. Yeah, so there's that as well. Great show. Totally recommend it. Like I said, I could go so deep into it, but I'm not going to.
Sorry, I'm responding to Edquist here. All right. Well, like I said, maybe especially if I can find it on Netflix, maybe I will give it a shot, and then we can get me, you, and Goose on here, and we'll talk about Inuyasha a little bit more in depth.
Mm-hmm.
All right, the next one is called Trigun.
Inuyasha is actually on Netflix too, at least the first 2 seasons, so you can get that.
There we go. Number 18, Trigun. According to critics and fans, Trigun combines some of the funniest, most absurd, and at the same time intellectual dialogue with powerful drama and sense of what you could also consider to be horror in emotional terms. Just to get more of an idea, Vash, the protagonist, is one of the most contradictory characters in any anime you will ever see. He's a gunfighter who hates killing, but he does it anyway. He's almost unbreakable, yet very vulnerable. He has the power to destroy all life, but gets upset at the death of a bug. With a 60 billion double price tag on his head, he's also the most sought-after man on the planet. Okay, Devin, you're going to need to break some of this down for me.
Okay. Vash the Stampede.
So hold on. He's a gunfighter who hates killing but does it anyway. I get that part.
Yes.
He's almost unbreakable but yet very vulnerable. Start there.
Okay, so he is emotionally stoned. Like he's emotionally stoned. He's very serious, very what he is. But then in a flip, he's basically schizophrenic. In a real quick, he will become a blubbering mess. So he has that going for him. And he's like, he's a comedy character. Like, you'll be trying to like catch him off guard. He's just laughing, joking it up with you. Then all of a sudden, like nothing you're saying is affecting him. Out of nowhere, boom, it hits him. And you've affected him, and he's crying on the floor. I love Vash. Vash is dope. Anyway, next thing. Yep.
He has the power to destroy all life, but he gets upset at the death of a bug.
Fact. Both of those verbatim. That is fact.
How does he have the power to destroy all life?
That will be a spoiler to give that away. But
damn. Okay.
He does.
Okay, now tell me this. It says with a $60 billion double price tag on his head.
That's literally just the currency they use. Literally, it's like $60 billion is what it is, but in their world, it's double dollars, which is legitimately just $2 signs.
Okay, so that's okay. I was gonna say, so it's not $120 billion.
No, it's
okay.
no, it's just the double.
All right, so now give us a little rundown of what this guy does. Like, what's the whole premise of this movie, of this show?
The Trigun. It is honestly, it's one of those animes. To give you an idea, I watched it a while ago. I haven't rewatched it. I really enjoy it. It was good. It's worth a watch. It's just shorter anime. Shorter anime. You know me. I love Western, so it's right up my alley. I've read the manga a few times. But in terms of the anime, it's a good anime. Definitely worth a watch. It was one of the ones on Adult Swim and on Toonami, so totally worth it. So Vash, character, he's all about love and peace. Like, he love and peace. He's known as the humanoid typhoon.
Okay.
Literally, wherever he goes, destruction follows him. Wherever he goes. Whether it's his fault or not, wherever he goes, destructions follow him. And that he got that bounty because of the incredible amount of damage he tends to leave after a skirmish. Like, he'll walk into a town, get into a shootout, and then something happens, and the entire town is a crater when he leaves.
Okay, how come? But if he's all about the preservation of life and stuff, and why doesn't he just turn himself in so things like this don't happen?
He has his reasons.
Okay.
But to give you even back that up further, his status as a human has been revoked by the government, and he's now legally considered a localized disaster.
Okay. This sounds interesting. I will give this a watch just to try to clarify some of these things.
So literally, his knack of destruction is so high. They said there's no way you can possibly be a human. We're revoking your human status. You are now literally classified as a walking natural disaster.
You are like a very fast-moving hurricane.
Yes, that Vash Stampede. That's exactly what it is.
Okay.
It's yeah.
All right, Trigun. Go watch it. Figure it out. I want to know more, people. All right.
I can't get too deep into it. It's one of those animes I can't get too deep into it, especially because it is only 24 episodes. And with that fact, the reveal is a lot in the show, so I can't talk about it too much without giving a lot of it away.
All right.
But if you want, we can do a Trigun episode. I will rewatch Trigun. I really have been meaning to do that, so I have no problem rewatching it.
Possibly. All right, so moving on. Trigun, I definitely will watch it. Number 17, Samurai Champloo.
Yeah, Samurai Champloo. This is actually one of the ones I was going to add to the list the next time we do an anime watch. Okay. Samurai Champloo, really good. Very much inspired by one of the previous ones we talked about, Rurouni Kenshin. It is. Yeah, I mean the comedy's spot on. You have Jin, the guy on the right. He's not necessarily the main character. The main character is about. Well, he's one of those three are the main characters. Jin, Mugen. Mugen's the guy on the left. Fu is the girl in the middle, and Jin is the guy on the right. Sorry, words are hard. They're all looking for this dude for a variety of reasons. Who's known as the Sunflower Samurai. These guys are just badass. I mean, it's just a badass show. There's not a lot to really reveal in this show. There's not. It's just their journey and their adventure to looking for this sunflower samurai. It's very much very good. If you've seen Afro Samurai, it's along the same vein as Afro Samurai.
Nope.
Afro Samurai is a samurai anime, and the main character is voiced by has a giant afro. He's a black dude. He's voiced by Samuel L. Jackson. Enough said.
Okay. I did not know he was voiced by Samuel L. Jackson. I've heard of Afro Samurai. Just never saw it.
Worth it. And they have a guy called Kuma who literally is a samurai that wears a bear head and murders the fuck out of everybody.
Okay, I will watch this one. What is that one on?
That's Afro Samurai.
That's Afro Samurai? Is he the bad guy, the bear guy?
He's like an anti-hero, but yes, he's one of the bad guys. He's one of the only few guys in the show that can actually go toe-to-toe with Afro.
All right, I like him. You've sold me on bear head guy.
Kuma,
even better. I like it. Do you know anything about Soul Eater, which is number 16?
Yep, I do.
Okay. I need you to check Facebook super fast in a minute, but go ahead and I will read the little snippet here in the bottom real quick. It says, what most fans appear to like about Soul Eater is that it has something new to offer in terms of story, setting, and personas of the main characters, and artistic style. The story centers on the, Shibusen? School for weapons and masters.
Shibusen School for weapons and masters. Yep.
In the fictional town of Death City. Oh, now that's a cool city. Yeah, yep.
Fucking them.
So it's an anime that takes place in Nevada. Cool. To get a more distinct understanding, a weapon in Soul Eater is a person born with the ability to transform into a weapon. Not just any weapon, but the one they were born as. So, Devin, why don't you tell us a little bit about Soul Eater?
All right, Soul Eater. One of the things that originally stand out to me about Soul Eater is that the main protagonist, it's a battle anime, and the main protagonist is a girl. Not only is the main protagonist a girl, she's not an overly sexualized girl, which is dope. She's not an overly sexualized girl, and actually, she's great. I love her as a main character. Maka's dope. I love Maka. Yeah. So just to give you a rundown of the people here, you have Maka, the characters. I can't think right now. Maka, Black Star. It's been a minute since I've seen every character in this show. I've seen this show, I should say. So characters off the top of the noggin, off the old noggin, is not as easy. But if you give me 2 seconds, I will look up some. Boom. There we go. Character. So, there you go. Characters are broken up into Meisters and weapons. Meisters are basically the people who wield the weapons. Weapons are, weapons. So you have the main character, Maka, and Soul. Soul is almost a Naruto-esque character. He can turn into a scythe. And all these people work for death. They go and they claim souls. But then there's some corrupt souls out there that fight them, and they fight corrupt souls. They claim regular souls and everything else. Soul Eater, it's one of those shows. I think while very good, I think it's polarizing. I see some people say it's innovative. I've seen some people say it's like predictable and the same thing. And Kid Death does get on my nerves. He's all about symmetry. Everything he does, it has to be in perfect symmetry. Like, he will stop a fight to look at something and be like, it's out of symmetry. We need to fix this. He gets on my nerves a little bit. He's actually also Death's son. So there's that too. But yeah, 100%. For a battle anime, this is definitely a battle anime. I enjoy it. Now, I will say this: there's an anime on this list that's not on this list that I would, if I had to take a battle anime off this list, Soul Eater would probably be the first one to go. Because while it is very good, I don't think you need to watch it.
Okay. Now let me ask you a question. On the picture that's on this site.
Yes, sir.
Of those characters, who's your favorite and who's your least favorite?
Of those, my favorite is Maka.
Which one's that?
She's the main character, girl standing in the center.
Right in the middle.
Least favorite is Kid Death, the guy on the right.
The one with the white and black striped hat?
Yes.
Okay.
Or no, that's his hair. That's his hair.
That's his hair?
That's his hair.
That's dumb. It looks like a beanie.
He's all about symmetry. But that...
Hey man, I can get behind symmetry and all.
Oh no, me too. 100%. I get behind symmetry. But the problem is, I think they use that as one note too much in the show. Like, that's his only thing. It's like, oh, he's a symmetry guy. Black Star can get annoying because he's kind of just like, he's loud and brash, but that's one like that in every, there's an anime character like that in every show. Looking at you, Black Clover.
I can already tell you I don't know, but if I had to base it off of looks, because I've never seen this anime, the girl next to the guy you don't like, that looks like she's wearing some form of a Viking hat.
Oh, the two cowboy hat girls? Those are actually Death's weapons. So he uses two Berettas, and both of them turn into... There's twin sisters or sisters that turn into his
there's
guns.
one right below her. All right.
Yeah, they turn into his guns. Those are his weapons. The chick behind the guy with the blue hair, she's his weapon. She turns into a katana. And then Soul, who's this co-main character with Maka, is Maka's weapon. The guy with the white hair.
Yeah.
He turns into a scythe.
All right. So we're gonna move on from this. Yeah.
It's a lot to take in. It's definitely for a different taste of like. You've seen this anime 1,000 times, but they managed to make it different, and that's why I think it's on this list.
Okay. Well, let's move to 15. Tokyo Ghoul.
Yes.
I've heard the name countless times.
Yes.
I've seen this picture of this guy wearing this creepy ass mask a bunch.
Yes.
What? Carrot, go away, Devin. Carry it away. What am I missing here?
Tokyo Ghoul.
I've seen it everywhere. I've never seen it.
Tokyo Ghoul. So, in this beautiful, beautiful world that we live in, there are two people. They're humans and ghouls. What are ghouls, you ask? Ghouls are basically humanoid individuals who possess a kakugane, which is, or is it kakugane? I forgot what it's called. Or is it a kagune? Kagune, I think is what it's called. I'm confusing two shows. Busa Rinken and that. I don't know why. The words are similar. A kagune. So they have kagunes. Kagunes are naturally occurring weapons. So effectively, they're weapons that ghouls can create. And there's 4 kinds. There's Bikaku, Kokaku. I can't remember top of my head.
B-A-B. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
You're fine. You're fine. Keep singing for like 2 seconds.
I will not do that, but I will say that is the guy's name Kaneki?
It's K Kaneki. Yes, K Kaneki.
Kaneki. All right.
Yes, K Kaneki is his name. So he was human. So and ghouls. The thing about ghouls, not only do they have weapons, they eat people. Yep. That's how they live. And for some reason, they only can eat people and coffee. Since the beginning,
coffee is people.
Since the beginning of time, the ghouls have existed. Coffee is the only thing they can stomach.
Okay.
If they eat regular people food, they immediately want to vomit it up. It tastes horrible to them, and they want to vomit it up. And if they do it long periods of time, it will actually weaken them and could kill them. So they only really get nourishment from eating flesh. Humans. Well, any flesh, really. There are ghouls that eat other ghouls.
Now, does a ghoul physically stand out, or can they blend in?
In most cases, they don't really stand out. No, some of them are so deformed that they do, but most cases, no. Only way you can tell a ghoul outside of the eating people apart would be if they show their weapon. And again, there's the 4 types. There's the Ukaku, the Kokaku, the Rinkaku, and the Bikaku. Those are weapons that manifest on their back in 4 spots. They're aligned with 4 spots. Ukaku is up between the shoulder blades and effectively means feather red.
Okay, before we get into this, I'm going to let you know out of the 4 that you named, I might be completely off, but I'm going to guess that the Ren one is going to be my favorite.
The Rinkaku is the one the main character has, and is also it is.
We'll go through it. What's the next one?
So the Ukaku is the first one. Ukaku sits between the shoulder blades. It's called and translates roughly to feather red. Effectively, it's almost like wings. They get these wings of like crystallized flesh that they can throw like daggers.
Like Archangel from X-Men?
Yes, almost exactly like that. And there's, they specialize in high-speed attacks.
Okay.
And most of the users of the ghouls who use Ukakus have enhanced speed.
Okay.
It's very lightweight. It can, again, lightweight, high-speed attacks. There are, the Kokaku, the next one I'm going to talk about, is more of it's much heavier, but high speed attacks.
Okay.
But they have a weakness where they burn a lot of their energy. They have like RC types in there, or RC cells, and that's what Kaguranis are made of. RC cells are basically what distinguishes a ghoul from a human. Like humans have I think it's 100. Anything 1,000 and above RC cells, you're considered a ghoul at that point. But yeah. So RC cells these weapons are made up of pure RC cells, and effectively these RC cells they can be crystallized or stiffened to make weapons. So they shoot out these spike-like projectiles. And the thing is the weapon on the back itself is kind of free-flowing, but as they crystallize and they become useful, they're hard, they're stiff. So they're not good at short-range combat. They're much better at long-range combat because they can fire them at long range. But if you get in close range on them, there's not much they can do because their weapons are so stiff they can't maneuver them in close range.
Okay.
So, yeah, there's that.
Hola, I'm back.
He's back. He did not burn alive.
Nope, that was an adventure, all right. But they let me back in the building, so.
All right.
Well, to let you know what you've missed so far, you're going to have to go back and listen to the episode.
No!
But we are on number 15. We're talking about Tokyo Ghoul.
Okie dokie.
Yes.
So what's you explained the second one?
That was first the Ukaku. The Ukaku, basically, they burn a lot of their RC cells. They burn through a lot of RC cells using their attack, so they can only maintain it for a short time. So the preferred strategy when fighting them is to
So you guys passed most of the ones I knew.
No, a lot of the ones that you knew, remember, we're going in descending order.
I know. I knew Trigun and Samurai Champloo. And,
all right. Well, we passed the fucking 3 that you knew then.
The 3 on the other page that I knew, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. So it's exhausting. So the basic way to beat them is just to literally just wait them out.
Okay.
Usually then they run out of their ability and they can attack. Kokaku are basically, it's called Shell Red. It's released at the shoulder blade, or it translates to Shell Red. It is it's basically a high density of the RC cells that create a weapon, like a blade or some like hammers, where they're usually really heavy and robust. And they usually shape themselves into armors or shields or weapons of some kind, right?
Okay.
So they're really heavy, they're slow to wield. So kind of the reverse opposite of them.
Right.
While a Ukaku, the first one I mentioned, while it can
light,
attack
fast attacks.
Light, fast attacks, this is much more heavier and slow attacks, but because that one's so light, and the defensive properties of the Kokaku, Kokakus will usually beat Ukakus in most cases. Right. If I remember that correctly.
Because they can withstand the barrage of attacks before the other ones burn out.
Exactly, and then they just burn out.
Yeah.
So that's kind of their whole shtick. They're heavy, they're heavy and slow, but they are capable of piercing and like really hurting. So then you have the Rinkaku, which is probably going to be your favorite, called Scale Red. They have the appearance of tentacles.
Scaled testicles. All
there
right.
is a girl in the show called Nutcracker, and her whole shtick is she literally just cracks people. She cracks dudes' balls. And I was looking at her for a second when I said that. That's why. Has an appearance similar to scaled tentacles, and is released at the back around the waist. Right. So Rinkaku, they have really their whole shtick is they have powerful regenerative abilities. They can regenerate really fast. They regenerate, and their weapon is very flexible, like a tentacle, but more so where they can stiffen them to an extent. You know, the main character, for instance, he can stiffen them to a point where he can actually contend against some Kokakus and things like that. But yeah, I mean, they are considered probably the most OP, and that's why they give the main character is. But they're high.
Nope.
Their RC, the binding force for their RC cells are weak. So they're soft and brittle. They're easy to break. They can cut through very easily, but they also regenerate very quickly. So it's kind of a war of attrition with them. So you can cut off their tentacles and fight them up close, but then they usually can regenerate them.
How many tentacles do they end up How many times?
Every user's different.
Okay.
Every user's different. So I think the highest count has been 14.
Jesus. All right.
And they can usually combine them all. They can like combine them into one giant tentacle and use them as like a much more stronger weapon. Yeah, so that's how that goes. And there's other goes. Their biggest disadvantage is defensive because they don't really have because they're too soft to really absorb attacks or anything.
Okay.
So their biggest disadvantage is being, and that's kind of their shtick. They're high offense, very, very minimal defense, and then you have the Bikaku, which is my personal favorite. Bikaku is basically the jack of all trades, master of none. In fact, it's so balanced that it appears around the tailbone area, and effectively it is a tail. It acts like a tail. It's called Bikaku translates effectively to tail red. And the thing about these are you can have some people manifest one giant tail, some people manifest like multiple smaller tails, or anything in between, really. But it's so balanced that it's considered a advantage. There's really no outstanding offense, like there's no outstanding glaring advantages, but there's really no weaknesses of a Bikaku. So you're kind of given a full range of offense, defense, speed, all the above. And it's best at like medium distance attacks.
And then you're forgetting the fifth, very rare one. It's Austin's favorite. It's called the Bukaki. Hey, I know all these words, all right?
I thought you were going to go horse kaku.
No, that's another good one, though. God damn it. Both of them. Horse Bukaki. Okay, I have one question about this before we move on.
Yes.
Who is the chick with the purple hair?
Chick? And what are you talking about?
I don't know. I'm seeing pictures of Tokyo Ghoul, and then there's this chick with, looks like she has purple hair.
Wait, is she like one eye covered up?
Maybe.
Drop a picture of her in the Discord, and I'll tell you who it is.
Okay, there's copy. Sorry, folks. I know this is going to be super entertaining listening to me to copy paste here.
Copy pasta.
Copy pasta.
Oh, okay. That chick. That is the. So actually, getting into the premise of the show, besides just the weapons on their back.
Oh yeah.
That is. That we probably should do that, shouldn't we? That is. This is another one I could talk about for an entire episode. So. She is the whole reason why the main character is a ghoul. He, as a human, fell in love with her or had a crush on her. He actually went on a date with her, but she only went on a date with him to basically eat him.
Oh, so she's a ghoul.
She was a ghoul, yes. She was a ghoul. She kind of was a ghoul who came in and caused a lot of ruckus in the area, in the territory. While trying to eat him, which she actually killed him effectively almost. She stabbed him multiple times with her weapon.
Okay.
A hooded figure, not going to reveal who, dropped scaffolding on top of both of them, killing her, severely injuring him. So then a demented doctor transplanted her organs into him, effectively turning him into the apparent first half ghoul.
All right, so she's not in the show anymore.
After
that point.
After the first season, you don't see her too much. She pops in memories and things like that in the first season, like she's in the first few episodes as a character, and then that. But there's a lot of good characters in the show. But she's totally worth it. She's a great character. He's a good character.
All right, so premise:
it's all good.
He's a half ghoul. He's half human, half ghoul.
Yes.
Best of both worlds. He can drink coffee and eat food, right?
No, he can't eat food. No,
well,
he
can drink coffee.
He can drink coffee. He eats people, and that's really the first few episodes him coming to terms with the fact that he has to eat people. And he winds up hooking up with a group of, I don't want to say good ghouls, because ghouls, they do a really good job of making the ghouls seem human, or making the ghouls humanoid, because they live their lives as humans for the most part.
Sympathetic.
Right? Sympathetic. That's what I wanted to say. Thank you. Where's the heart? Making them very sympathetic. You know, like even going back to Nutcracker, the girl who steps on dude's nuts. When she died, like her whole thing was she wanted to be pretty. As a spoiler, but you'll get over it. It's fine. She wanted to be pretty. And basically when she's killed, she has a quick flashback of her just being like a poor homeless girl in the street, looking in this shop and seeing these beautiful dresses and shoes, and she just wanted to be pretty. So but she needed money to be pretty. So she spent her entire ghoul life like trying to get money to make herself beautiful. Right. So it's very sympathetic. He's Kay's sympathetic in the fact that he's trying to come to terms with this, and then he hooks up with these group of people that basically they go to a point that one of the spots they go is they jump. They don't jump. They go to a spot on a highway where is a high suicide spot where people go and jump off.
Suicide Bridge in Japan. We talked about
exactly like that. But it's more of this is a mountain. They'll go there and they'll climb down this mountain, and when people commit suicide, they will just take them and cut them up. So they're already dead, but they're fresh. So they don't have to kill people to eat.
Okay.
So they do things that way, and it's really fucked up because you'll see like 8 and 9-year-old kids who are ghouls fucking just tearing into people. Which is fun. The show's worth it. The 3 seasons right now. I'm currently watching.
What is this show rated?
It's TVMA. Okay. It even says in the thing, if you read the last line on the thing, it's like, but our advice is that if you happen to find gore disturbing, then you should watch the censored version.
Oh yeah, all right.
But it's a very good show. I recommend it. The second season, good second season. Felt it was kind of weak only because nothing dramatic came out of the finale. And I could talk about that more if we do it in depth and understand that later. But
all right. Well, a lot of these sounds like we could do potential full episodes. But moving on, we'll move down to 14. And we will not spend that much time on 14.
Because we've covered it.
Cowboy Bebop. If you want to know more in depth about Cowboy Bebop, unless Edquist has some to say about this, you can listen to our first anime episode. I did not particularly care for Cowboy Bebop.
To be fair, they only watched the first episode in that.
Yes.
First episode.
Yes.
So it was a little bit of a thing.
It wasn't my style that I liked for artistic style, and it wasn't
it's an older anime. It's an older anime, but it's the payoff. It's the whole series that makes the series. So if you're gonna watch it, you have to keep it. You have to keep watching it until it's done. Which one episode is not a great dig, but it's fine. It's what it is.
It's one of the few that I've seen. It's basically like cowboys in space. They're bounty hunters, kind of. It's good, but like you said, you've talked about it already. So
if you want really good space, Outlaw Star, not on this list, but Outlaw Star. Anyway.
All right. Moving on to number 13, Full Metal Alchemist. Another one we've actually talked about a little bit on this show.
Yep.
Well, this is the original Full Metal Alchemist, not the
other one's also on the show.
Yeah, they are.
Oh no, there's also on the show.
Now, we will say what you told me. If I'm going to watch them, I might as well just watch Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood.
That is correct.
And I don't necessarily need to watch Full Metal Alchemist to understand.
You don't need to watch Full Metal Alchemist to understand Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood at all. Full Metal Alchemist is basically Full Metal Alchemist. They both start off fairly similar, but what happened with Full Metal Alchemist was in key parts in the show they deviated from the manga, so it kind of became its own thing.
Okay.
But then Brotherhood was more of a loyal adaptation. So you can watch them both, and you will get a different experience from both. However, if you only were going to watch one, I would go with Brotherhood. I feel it is slightly superior to Full Metal Alchemist.
Edquist, do you agree that Brotherhood is slightly superior to the regular one?
I haven't watched all of Brotherhood. I did like the first one, but at the end it got kind of weird. So I'm hoping Brotherhood is not as weird as the end of regular Full Metal Alchemist.
Because Brotherhood is further up on this list, so presumably it is better ranked than this one.
Yes, but I do like the original. It was good. It just got a little weird at the end.
Again, if you want to know more, a little bit more in depth, revisit. I believe it was our second anime episode.
Yes, and I will say I was very confused when Devin had us watch it because I thought Brotherhood was a sequel to the original, and I was like, "Why are all these people that were dead still back up to life?" I don't understand.
Yeah. Context.
Edquist, do you know this number 12?
I do, but
I do not.
Okay.
Although I want to do number 11 because that's one of my favorites.
That's fine.
I have things to say about number 11 as well.
That's fine. But Devin, go ahead and tell us about number 12.
Code Geass. I'm going to keep it very short and sweet. If you like good stories, if you like mecha anime, you like plots and twists, and you like the occasional superpower, watch it. It's fun. It's great. They're actually, I think, not rebooting it, or they're making a sequel of it pretty soon here. Vivi's my girl. So, yeah.
Which one's that?
That's the chick with the green hair.
No, I was just going to say I like her, and I already like the chick with the red hair.
She's also my girl.
So...
Yeah, so I'm not going to hop into Code Geass too much. Code Geass, totally worth it.
Well, then read the little snippet underneath it then, at least.
Code Geass. All right, Code Geass, or Geass, is set in an alternate universe after Japan's conquest by the Holy Britannian Empire with their powerful new robot weapons. The Nightmare frames, stripping Japan, which is what they call the mechs. The Nightmare frames, stripping Japan and its citizens of all rights and freedoms and renaming the country Area 11. Lelouch is a Britannian prince who gave up his right of the throne after his mother was murdered and has vowed to destroy his father, the Emperor, and Britannia. It's always interesting when family matters mix in with a thirst of geopolitical conquest and domination, no? And he basically has a power where he can look into your eyes and give you any command that you're forced to carry out. Any command. It is legitimately the Geass power from D&D with no overly quantifiable drawbacks, and you can ask people to kill themselves.
Okay. Well, moving on from that one.
Rob, you can take this one.
Number 11, Mr. Edquist. Feel free.
All right. Bleach. Bleach is basically the story of a pair of Grim Reapers that are trying to destroy Hollows, which are spirits of the dead that have been corrupted and become evil and want to kill the living. I believe it's Ichigo and Rukia. It starts off, Rukia is a Soul Reaper, which is basically a Grim Reaper. If you remember, if you've listened to Fate, they are actually called Shinigami, which we ran into in one part in Fate, Fate of Heroes. But anyway,
I don't remember that, and I'm in that.
Well, we thought it was a Shinigami. Remember, Tabby got all freaked out about the Japanese death spirits. But it turned out to be a robot.
That was in Vendetta. Effect. Okay.
Oh yeah, Vendetta Effect, not Fate of Heroes. Sorry.
Yeah.
All right. I feel opposite about this show.
Oh shit!
That's why I let Rob do it.
Conflict. All right, hold on. Let Rob finish. Yeah. Let Rob finish.
So Rukia gets injured in her mission to try and fight the Hollows, and she has to basically give her powers to Ichigo to finish the fight for her, even though he's not really a Reaper. And then she gets framed for murder. She gets taken back to the Soul Society, which is basically the Reapers' hub and city, and then he has to rescue her, and a whole bunch of shenanigans too.
Yes. I personally, so Bleach was a part of what was called the Holy Shonen Trinity, basically, which comprised of One Piece, Naruto, and this show. Of those three, I felt it was the weakest. I do like Bleach. It is fun. It is a fun watch. I cannot say, though, it is objectively good. It's a fun watch. Very much like Sword Art Online for me. I can say it's a fun watch. Can I say it's objectively good? No. And the reasoning why I can't say it's objectively good, at least in my opinion, is because literally my biggest complaint about it is in terms of making Ichigo stronger, they make him everything. If, there's something called Quincy's in the show, there's something called Hollows, Hollows, Quincy's, there's Arankars, there's all these all these other types of things that are stronger than Ichigo when he first meets him, and then usually he ends up becoming that thing, or he is that thing in his backstory to make him get on their level. So it's to a point where it felt really... It felt like he never worked for his power. They just like, we're just going to give him the ability to be this. So it got on my nerve a little bit. Got on my nerves just a little bit, but that's okay.
Yeah.
It's a fun watch. It's definitely fun to watch. The action anime the action is great as far as the anime goes. But in terms of just the story, if you ignore that fact, the fact that they just literally make him great by just giving him, he becomes a new race every 20 episodes. Or a piece of his backstory. Like you find like Rob said, he becomes a Shinigami. You find out later he already was half Shinigami anyway. On his father's side. And then you find out past that point, and so I'm not gonna give too much more away. You find out a lot of other stuff, but it's like I can't give away too much on what he becomes because I give away some of the story. But just know, imagine in Naruto if every time Naruto fought a ninja from another clan, you found out, oh well, he's actually part of that clan too. That kind of thing. Like, wouldn't the payoff in Naruto be a little worse if you found out Naruto was also a Uchiha somewhere down the line? Yes. And he also was like quarter Uchiha, quarter Uzumaki, and quarter fucking man. He had the Bakugan as well. I couldn't think of the name for a second. He had the fucking Bakugan as well, and it's like one eye. Not Bakugan. That's the fucking Battle Brother. Where's Bakugan?
Yeah, it's Bakugan. That's the eyeball.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
So he had that, and then if he had all that, like it would be bad.
Well, I mean, I have a counter argument to that, which is Dragon Ball Z.
Well, see, Dragon Ball Z is this.
True, Goku sucks ass.
No, he very much.
I don't like Goku. Piccolo's the shit. He's the number one.
Piccolo is awesome. Right? Piccolo's that. But my counter argument to that is he's not. He's always been a Saiyan. He's never been something else. He's been a Saiyan, and that the only time you could probably make the argument and say that he became something else is when he became a god. Is when he hit Super Saiyan God and became like a God Saiyan. You could argue that, and that's later down the road on Super. But he's always been a Saiyan, and these have always been that. Yeah, they just add another level to his power. Say, oh, Super Saiyan 3, Super Saiyan 2, Super Saiyan 4. But
adding numbers, it's the same kind of idea.
Exactly, but it's still effectively tying it to a Saiyan. It's not muddying the background anymore. Like for him, it's like Ichigo is legitimately tied to 4 different races. Not even just like he's tied to like 3 or 4. Like I'm gonna type this to you, Rob, because it's a spoiler.
Well, I think I know what you're gonna put, but no, I get it. Like, I still liked it, even though.
Oh no, like I said, I enjoyed it. It's enjoyable, but just like I have a hard time saying it's good from a objective standpoint. Me and that show are in the same point as me and Sword Art.
You know what I can say?
Yeah, I know. But he's also. Let's go ahead, Webby.
One thing I can say, I don't know a damn thing you guys are talking about.
I was just gonna say that lots of people have different tastes. Like I like Bleach a lot. I like Sword Art Online. I can't stand Naruto. I find it fucking boring. I tried to sit through 5 episodes of the thing, and I was like, "Does anything ever happen?"
No. There's a special way you have to watch Naruto, and it's called "fuck all the filler." That's the way you watch Naruto, because Naruto is legitimately a vehicle to get to Naruto Shippuden. In my opinion, like Naruto's great. Naruto's fun. It's fun to watch. But there's a lot of filler in Naruto. There's a lot of filler in Naruto Shippuden as well. But if you legitimately just cut out all that filler, you cut the show down to about half to 2/3 of its actual size.
True statement.
And then you can enjoy it a little bit better. It's a little bit more cohesive. And Naruto Shippuden is 1,000 times better than Naruto in terms of just action and stuff moving. So that's always my recommendation to people. They're like, I can't get through Naruto. Like, skip filler. Just skip the filler. You can probably skip all of Naruto. Just like watch Naruto, get to the introduction of Jiraiya. Like watch the first few episodes to get a concept. Get to the introduction of Jiraiya. Watch the shit with Orochimaru and the Chunin exam, and then a couple other key points here and jump straight
we'll
into
talk
Shippuden.
about
You'll be
that
fine.
when we get to Naruto, which is on the list.
I know.
Let's.
I know. Webby.
Do you guys have anything else to say about Bleach other than it's
I
used
don't.
to whiten your goddamn clothes?
No, I'm good.
I'm trying to keep this moving forward, but we keep bouncing around to other ones that are on the list.
Number
Number 10.
Noted sidebar on Bleach. Noted sidebar on Bleach. I know a little bit about Fairy Tail. I'll tell you in a second. Noted sidebar on Bleach. I won't spend much time on Fairy Tail though. Somebody came with a really complex theory of why it's called Bleach. Oh, Bleach. Bleach is used to cleanse and clean your clothes, and they're cleansing the souls of that. The creator came out and said no, literally because his hair is bleached orange. That's why. So there you go. It's not that deep, people. Moving on.
Okay. Number 10.
Fairy Tail. All right. Fairy
Tail
Tail is in a world where magic is commonly used and sold, a team of guild members take on various missions to earn enough money to pay the rent. Among them are Lucy, a celestial spirit mage, Natsu, a fire dragon slayer, and Happy, a blue winged cat. Welcome to Fairy Tail, where magic can buy everything. Pause and stop right there. Fairy Tail, there's too many different types of magic and too many different races of like special magic to get into where it would take too long. Fairy Tail, it's enjoyable. Not the biggest fan of Fairy Tail in the world. It's fun. It's very much I think it's a worse One Piece because Fairy Tail never drops the slapsticky comedy routine. It gets serious, but it rarely ever drops that. Even in the serious moments, it never drops that slapstick comedy routine. It's an interesting watch. If you like magic, it's worth a watch.
Okay.
It feels surprisingly dated watching it though. Like it came out around the same time, or even a little bit after Naruto, One Piece, and all of them. But the first episode of Fairy Tail, the animation quality, they feel really dated.
Okay.
But if I had to guess, it's because they didn't get the same budget that those other shows got to begin with.
Right.
So there you go.
All right. Edquist, do you know anything about Fairy Tail?
I do not.
Okay. Moving on to number 9, Sword Art Online. All right, I'll read the little snippet. In the year 2022, gamers worldwide have lined up on launch day of Sword Art Online, hotly anticipated MMORPG that lets players connect to an immersive virtual reality world with special helmets called Nerve Gear. Corrido is one such gamer who is eager to jump back into action, having spent a great deal of time as a beta tester, and quickly becomes friends with newbie warrior Klein. The rest is just part of a cartoon greatness and history now. So essentially this is a kid who beta tested this game, so he kind of, once launch day came, he knew what needed to be done and how to do things already. So he seemingly became super OP in this game. And a bunch of people considered him cheaters, and I don't know. It's a really good show. I really enjoyed it. The seasons were odd. Like, the second half of Sword Art Online, I guess, of Season 1 was strange. But I still enjoyed it. Edquist, what about you?
Well, I agree that the second one was weirder. But you're leaving out the part where they all got trapped, because the scientists that created it trapped everybody's minds inside the game, and if you died in game, you died in real life. So a bunch of people went on a PvP spree and basically became murderers, and it was all horrible. Like, Season 1 was really dark, and then Season 2, they had elf time, and everything was, like, the complete opposite.
Yeah.
And that's why it got so weird. Just like, well, this changed.
Yeah. Devin, what's your view on it?
I will say this. I'm going to keep it short and sweet. Sword Art Online, entertaining, not great. If you want to watch one that's the same concept, same premise, that's entertaining and good writing, I recommend Grimgar of Fantasy and Ash. Done. Moving
Bam. On. All right, number 8.
Or Danmachi, but different concept.
Number 8, Dragon Ball Z, specifically. Again, I don't know too much. I know some of the characters. I'm sure some of the story. Me and an old coworker of mine, shout out to Cliff, we would talk for hours during the day about just random Dragon Ball Z fights and things that would happen. And random characters in this show, and I found out that Piccolo, he's my homeboy. No one will ever change my mind that I think he's the best. I'm putting that out there.
I like Piccolo.
He's
Although you
special.
have to like his original.
He has special beam cannon, and he killed 2 dudes with 1 shot.
I mean, Boo killed the entire plane with 1 shot, but you know what?
Listen,
I just
Boo's a little bitch. All right.
Hey, whoa.
Yeah, whoa. Is he
Oob, Oob is
no,
a bitch.
Who's the
Kid
one?
Boo's
Who's the one
annoying.
who?
Super Boo's dope.
Listen, who's the one who turns people into chocolate bars?
That's Fat Boo.
Yeah, I don't like him either. He's a little bitch. I guess the running joke here is who's the one dude who never kills anybody. He always loses. Yamcha. He's a running joke, but I don't know. I bet you Yamcha's pretty cool. I guess I don't know really much about anything in this show. I can name some people, which is a little bit more than I could say about some other animes. So, essentially, the Dragon Ball premise, they're all searching for the balls. There's fucking a bunch of Dragon Balls, and if you collect them all, you get a wish. And most of the time when they collect them, it's to wish somebody back from death that died while looking for them, is what I'm understanding here.
Yep.
Now, Devin,
I can sum Dragon Ball Z up really quick. Go ahead.
If, say, Goku got all the Dragon Balls and he got a wish.
Uh-huh. Well, okay.
Hold on.
There's different Dragon Balls, though.
I understand that. Okay, just hold on. Say he gets all the orange ones from, like, Earth or whatever the fuck planet.
So the Earth Dragon Balls,
yeah,
okay.
Okay. So say they get those and he makes a wish, right? After the wish, all the Dragon Balls get scattered again.
Yes.
If he collects all the Dragon Balls again, does he get another wish?
Yes, as many times as you get them. If you gather them all, you can get as many wishes as you need.
Okay.
The Earth Dragon Balls give you 1 wish, the Namekian Dragon Balls will give you 3.
Jesus. All right. Let's go there.
Dragon Ball Z, real quick, though, is... I think it's where it's at now, off of nostalgia. I enjoy Dragon Ball Z a lot. I think if you're at this stage in the game, if you have not seen Dragon Ball Z and you want to see Dragon Ball Z, if you watch Dragon Ball Z, the original Dragon Ball Z is drawn out and boring. The original Dragon Ball Z. I'm not talking about Dragon Ball Z. Don't watch the original Dragon Ball Z. Watch Dragon Ball Kai. They went in there. They cut out a lot of that extraneous bullshit. And it's more recently reanimated, so it's a little bit better. Actually, it's a lot better. So Dragon Ball Z Kai is what you should watch if you want to get into Dragon Ball Z at this point in time in your life. I don't think it's a requirement to be seen. I think it's a cultural phenomenon. I think it's nostalgia, but I honestly like even Dragon Ball Super, the new one that came out. I haven't even watched it. I have no interest in it. I like Dragon Ball Z a lot. I love Dragon Ball Z. I know I can talk about the universe back and forth in the back of my hand.
Okay.
Because there was a time in my life where I knew a lot more about it because I needed, because I needed that in my life.
Well, but, it is stated that it will always be, to many fans, one of the most influential cartoons ever created.
Yes. I mean, it effectively set up or helped set up the battle anime, like that. It's effectively it established the formula for a good battle anime. It's the best way to put it.
All right, Edquist, do you know anything about Dragon Ball Z? I know you said you knew a little bit about regular Dragon Ball.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen a couple episodes of Dragon Ball Z, but I wasn't really into it, so yeah. I didn't watch much of it.
I will. Devin, do you have any last comments before we move on? Because I'm going to have one comment just solely to piss people off.
No, you're fine. Go ahead.
Just to piss all you listeners off. And Kurt, I don't care if you comment on how bad I am. Goku sucks. Vegeta sucks. All of these Saiyans suck ass. Alright? Piccolo rocks. He'd mop the floor with a whole lot of them. Moving on, number 7, Naruto
One
Shippuden.
character I like more than all
I
of
don't
them.
want to talk about Naruto Shippuden.
No.
We're
more,
already
more
on
than
number 7.
Piccolo, more than Sans, Pikkon.
We're
Anyway.
already on to number 7, Piccolo's Rules. Naruto
Pikkon.
Shippuden. For whatever reason, I thought the Naruto that I watched on Netflix was this one. It might have been, but I don't remember them being older.
No, then that was the younger one. Naruto Shippuden is the sequel to Naruto.
Oh, all right. Either case, Naruto, he's a ninja dude. I remember more when they were kids. It was a squad of 3s. They always broke them up into 3s, I guess. He's got a demon in him, which makes him super special. And
Beast, but...
nobody takes. Yeah, well, I mean, aren't they demons too?
Not really.
Oh,
I
thought they were.
They're like chakra chakra beast. You could say they're demons.
Because I said they were demons because the ones the sand guy said that his was a sand demon.
Yeah, that was more like hyperbole than anything.
Well, whatever. Anyway, he's got a tailed beast in him, and which makes him super special. No one takes him seriously because he is a prankster and a jokester, but he whoops some serious ass. And Sasuke is his name, right?
Whiny bitch number 2?
Yeah.
Or number 1? Yep.
Yeah. Fuck Sasuke. Sasuke sucks.
Yep. I do like Sasuke and Boruto and Shippuden later down the road, but
I will never like him just because of how much I had to put up with him being a whiny little bitch.
Boruto makes him better.
I will say my favorite characters are their teacher. I'm forgetting names. It's been
Kakashi.
Yep. I like him. I like Pervy Sage. And I like the chick with the Byakugan eyes, the really shy chick.
Hinata.
Yeah.
Hinata's my girl.
So
Hinata best girl.
And Edquist, you said you didn't like Naruto?
Nope.
All right.
I mean, I could try this one, but the regular Naruto, I was like, oh my god, when is this over?
I don't think we're either when I said it. Naruto is a vehicle for this show.
Yeah.
Look up online. Just look up a filler-free Naruto guide, like how to watch Naruto without fillers, and just follow that. It'll cut the first part. It'll cut Naruto down by about 200 episodes. And then you can hop into Shippuden, which is or you can just read up on the wiki about Naruto and then hop into Shippuden. I mean, you can do that too. Not the same experience, but Shippuden's way better. Way better.
Okie dokie. I just know that Naruto whines a lot and falls over.
Yes.
He does.
Yes. That is.
And they live in the Leaf Village. That is what I found out in the 5 episodes I watched.
Yep. Yep, and you will get that will be reiterated. Those very few facts that you just stated will be reiterated 67 more times in that season.
Mm-hmm.
The hidden leaf.
And he likes Sasuke, and she can't be bothered. That's another one I learned.
So, anyway. Moving on from number 7 and number 6. We're almost on the top 5 here. Attack on Titan. I didn't like it. I know lots of people did. I tried. I did watch the first maybe 2 episodes. Did not get into it.
We're actually in the same boat, Webby. Same thing. I watched the first probably 15 episodes of it. Like I watched, I maybe finished the whole first season. Was not a fan. No. Just like it's good. Like it's a very pretty anime as well. Animated. The fight scenes are cool, but I don't care about the story. I just don't care about it. I couldn't get into it.
Oh.
I recommended it. I've recommended the anime to people only because of the fact that I know it's good and I know people enjoy it. So I recommend it to people as to try it out, but I give them the caveat of I did not enjoy this, but I know a lot of people do. You may like it.
So I will read the little summary on the bottom, just so some people getting a gist of what maybe it's about. It says it's the best action anime according to Ranker. Attack on Titan is truly a groundbreaking anime. After his hometown was destroyed and his mother is killed, young Eren Yeager vows to cleanse the earth of a giant humanoid titans that have brought humanity to the brink of extinction. This is a truly fantastic anime on many levels: the story, the imagery, the vision, and the atmosphere. The basic premise of mindless giants that eat people might sound so silly and even grotesque on paper, but watching it leaves you with a much different feeling. I don't know. They're a bunch of naked, skinless giants, and I couldn't get into it. So
I did not. I watched part of one episode and I stopped because it was subtitles and I hate those. But now that it's dubbed, I might give it another try.
You guys.
I hate subtitles.
I'm gonna need you.
I will watch subtitles in Ip Man. That is, you give me a Donnie Yen movie, I'll watch subtitles with it.
I'm gonna need you guys to stick it.
Then give me an anime where Donnie Yen's in it. Moving on to number 5. We're at least in the top 5 here. Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. We talked about this one already, both on a previous episode and earlier this evening.
Both Full Metal Alchemist are good.
Just
Recommend
watch this one.
Better. Watch that one. There
watch
you go.
This one ranked 5. The other one ranked like something like 14 or some shit. So
I'll tell you this. Watch this one. If you really have a hankering for FMA, then watch the second.
I have a question for both you and Edquist regarding Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood or the other one. Doesn't really matter, and then we'll move on.
Okay.
The guy who gives the main character, the blonde dude,
Edward,
the guy who gives him his orders.
Mustang, yeah.
Mustang, yes. Why does everybody like that Mustang guy so much?
He's actually a really entertaining character.
Do you mean like fans, or do you mean
like just fans in general? Everybody, I'll hear people talk about this show, and they always
Colonel Roy Mustang.
Roy Mustang, yeah, they always talk about Roy Mustang. It's like, why? Like, what's this?
I mean, personally, I like Hawkeye. I like Riza Hawkeye more.
Yeah, I like Hawkeye too.
But I love those two together. Like, those two together make the show. Him, Hawkeye, and Hughes. They make the show. Mason Hughes, man, what's up?
She's like, he goes to snap his fingers, and she's like, "It's raining. You can't. You're useless in the rain."
Yeah, I love
what power is that?
Rain. Like that is beautiful. Like it's a very beautiful thing. Used in the rain. A very powerful character used in the rain. I've stolen more than a few names for characters from this show.
Is this where Roy's name came from?
The first name, yes, Roy.
I
Roy,
lost all respect for Roy now.
That's fine. Yeah, I don't have respect for myself, so that's fine. Then also to Hughes, Mason. I stole Mason from Mason Hughes.
Yeah. Shit. All right, so go watch Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. Simple as that. I watched the first episode based off of one of our previous SU episodes, and I did like it. As I admitted in the last time we talked about it, I did fall asleep at part of it, but it was super late at night, and I have rewatched it, and it was good. So, moving on to number 4, the original Dragon Ball show. Dragon Ball is another legendary anime that became a global phenomenon and gained millions of fans. The story focuses on the adventures of an extraordinarily strong young boy named Goku as he searches for 7 Dragon Balls. These balls, when combined, can grant the owner any wish, and the rest is a part of pop culture history. All I know about Dragon Ball, besides Dragon Ball Z stuff, is the old man on the left is super pervy. I think that's that guy anyway, right?
Yep, Master Roshi.
Roshi, super pervy.
Yep. Dragon Ball. All right, here. Let's do this. I'm going to sum Dragon Ball in 3 parts. Dragon Ball is it's older now at this point. It's obviously dated. It's from 70s, 80s.
I watched it when I was a kid. I barely remember it. The only thing I really remember is that Goku used to fly around on a cloud, and I liked it better than Dragon Ball Z, although I don't remember why.
It is more cohesive. It is more. It's not high stakes. It's very much not high stakes like Dragon Ball Z is. It's more martial arts centric. You know, like martial arts techniques actually come into play in terms of like, oh, he has the crane style of school, so like, and they're known to be better. And him being a Saiyan comes into play very little. It's not really about that. It's more about everything else, and like shows you how he got his life. And to give you an idea of the show, at one point in the show, Yamcha was a threat.
Bam.
Yamcha was a threat, and Tien was like the shit.
Yeah.
And Piccolo was terrifying.
Evil. He was evil.
Evil and terrifying.
Okay, real quick. Edquist. This is for Edquist.
Mm-hmm.
You're seeing the same picture I'm seeing on this list, right?
Yes.
I'm going to pop quiz you here.
Oh, I'm not going to know anybody.
Well, you're going to try, and then Devin will go to you. Let's start with the old dude on the left with the turtle shell backpack.
Master Roshi.
Okay. The little dude right in front of him with the 6 dots on his forehead.
No idea.
Okay. The main dude standing in the front.
Goku.
The little pig guy on the right.
Winker.
The blue teal-haired lady in the back.
Melissa.
Okay, the dude to the Devin. I hear Devin's exasperation already, but hold on. The black-haired stud muffin in the back next to her.
Orin.
Okay, the cat.
Meowth.
Oh God, that's a callback to the next anime. The dude with the eye in the middle of his forehead.
Call forward. It's a call
Call
forward.
forward. Yeah, the dude with his eye on his forehead.
Triclops.
Okay, and the little puppet-looking dude.
Evil Pinocchio.
Okay, so now Devin. Hold on. Devin.
Maybe two.
The old guy on the left.
Master Roshi.
The young little kid with the 6 dots on his forehead.
Krillin.
The main dude in the front.
Goku.
The pig.
Oolong.
The teal-haired lady.
Bulma.
Oh, fuck Bulma. The dude with the black hair next to her.
Yamcha.
That's Yamcha?
Yep.
Oh, man. No wonder he sucks. The cat.
That's Poir.
The dude with the 3 eyes.
That's Tien.
And the little Muppet guy.
Chaozu.
Chaozu, man. All right.
Actually, Bulma in Dragon Ball shows her titties.
In the regular Dragon Ball?
Yes.
Wasn't this made for kids?
It's kids in Japan, so it's different.
So it showed them?
Yes.
Looks like I'm watching Dragon Ball. Just for one scene, apparently. All I know is Bulma sucks. I hate Bulma.
Well, I'm trying to think specifically speaking.
Who's the other chick? Who's the one Goku marries?
That's Chi-Chi.
Oh, man, I don't like her either. Fuck 'em. Anyway, moving on. Dragon Ball. Devin knew all the characters on the show. Edquist can't remember why he likes this one better than Z. That's all we need to know.
Nope. I used to watch it when I was a little kid, and I don't remember much of it.
Moving on to number 3. As a call forward, Edquist said Meowth. We're talking about Pokemans. Edquist, go ahead and read the little snippet on the bottom there.
Well, what can we say about the legendary adventures of Ash Ketchum?
Ass Ketchum.
Ash Ketchum.
Yes.
Partner
Pokemans featuring Ass Ketchup.
His partner Pikachu.
That's why his ass is ketchup.
Who travel across many regions and of being regarded as Pokemon masters. And you don't already know, although artistically and even from a story point of view, Pokemon is nowhere near the greatest or best anime ever. It's unarguably the most famous and influential on a global scale.
Okay. Devin.
Yep.
I can... Hold on. What can you tell me about Pokemans?
Pokemon, fun to watch.
I can tell you one thing. First off, right off the bat, Pokemans stands for Pocket Monsters.
Yes.
I know that. Okay, continue.
Pokemon, I don't know why it's on this list. It's inspirational kid show.
Austin, Donnie, listen here.
No. I mean, I like Pokemon. 25 of all time, it's the same. It legitimately is the same thing every season for God knows how many seasons. Different, just a different land, some new shit to capture. Fucking Team Rocket pops up again, and fucking Ash Ketchum is eternally 10 years old. but everyone else around him ages at some point. So there you go.
Okay.
I mean, I like Pokemon. I like Pikachu. Yeah, it was cute. It's fine.
All right.
Whatever. Who the fuck cares? Moving on.
All right. Edquist.
Mm-hmm.
In this picture.
Oh dear Jesus.
Okay, Webby, I'm if you're gonna. Well, okay, actually, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Hold on. In this picture, Edquist.
Mm-hmm.
Starting on the left, the girl with the orange hair.
That's Misty.
The little fucking thing at her feet.
Eggless.
Okay. The dude with the green vest standing next to her.
Brock.
He apparently doesn't have a Pokemon. The guy with the green shirt next to him.
Green shirt, big shirty shirt.
Okay, the blue thing he's holding.
This is terrible.
Pretty screaming squirrel.
This is terrible. On so many levels.
I love this. The guy with the purple shirt.
Oh, that's his rival, Gary, I think.
Okay.
That's his name.
The chick with the red shirt. Oh, Tilly's getting upset with you.
Hipster Lisa.
Okay, the green shirt kid.
Annoying Ned.
The blue bird.
Penguino.
Well, the chick with the skirt right behind her.
Biker Betty.
Oh my god. The chick with the weird ass hair.
Any hairdo.
The green haired kid.
David Lime.
The weird ugly thing in front of them.
Slugamug.
Okay. This is like those things where it's like ask your grandma to name these cartoon characters. Who's the kid in the jumpsuit who looks like fucking Speed Racer?
Todd the inventor.
Okay. The little girl next to him. Tilly's trying to chime in.
Todd's sister.
All right. And then the girl next to her.
Anne.
And then the guy in the middle on the top.
That's Ash. Wait, you didn't ask me about that thing that looks kind of like Pikachu. It's plug-in Pikachu.
That's what?
Plug-in Pikachu.
Plug-in
He's got
Pikachu.
Look, he's got a little plug coming out of his
Oh my god. Okay, and then who's in the middle?
Ash.
And then on his shoulder.
Pikachu.
And then in the background.
I have no bulbous blue butt bubble.
Bulbous blue butt bubble. Okay. The
And
one
then
on the
Jesse, James, and Meowth.
Okay. Devin,
can you tell I've only seen season 1 of Pokemon?
I've seen other seasons, but there's certain people I don't know. I can tell you right now.
No, hold on. How do you think Edquist did?
Maybe 6.
Do you think I could do better?
Are you looking at a list right now?
I am not. I'm looking at this picture.
I would think you could do equally as good.
Okay. You're probably right, but go ahead. Do you know who these people are?
All right, yeah. So Misty.
There's Misty.
The Pokemon below her is Togepi.
There's Brock.
Terry.
Who?
He's holding. His name's Terry. The dude in the green shirt is Terry.
Pretty sure that's what Edquist said. Okay.
The dude in the holding the Pokemon he's holding is Meryl. Guy next to that is Gary.
Yeah, that's what Edquist said. Gary.
Max.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he got those right.
Chick next to Max is Dawn.
Oh,
below
I think
her,
you might have gotten that one wrong, Edquist.
Below her is Piplup.
Got that right.
Chick next to the
with
Piplup
the weird ass hair
is Iris.
Yeah, you got that one right.
Below that is, I think, Axew is the Pokemon.
Oh, you might have gotten that one wrong, Edquist.
The green guy, the last 4 or 5, I don't fucking even know. Like, fuck.
That's Donald, the guy in the green hair.
Okay.
Okay, the kid in the jumpsuit's name is Ken.
Okay.
The little sister next to him is Susie.
Okay.
I have no idea what that thing is at their feet.
Electric
Plug in Pikachu.
Electric girl. Toaster in a bathtub. Toaster in a bathtub, man.
Yeah. And then the girl in the skirt on the right-hand side is Ash.
What?
She's also named Ash?
Yeah, you know it.
In the Pokemon in the back, that's Wobbuffet,
What?
Jesse, the blue dude, Wobbuffet,
I'm
Jesse,
pretty sure Edquist got that one right.
James, Meowth, Pikachu, and Ash. There you go.
There you go.
I got about maybe 80%.
I definitely said Wabafoo or whatever the hell it's called.
So, for those of you listening, just know that there's a kid in a jumpsuit and a dude with green hair, and you can go ahead and try to tell me that I'm wrong, but I'm telling you right now, that's Donald and Ken. I know it. Donald, Ken, Susie, and then a second Ash, because it's there to confuse you to prove that Ash is a bigender name. It can be used for both.
Yep, his name is Ash and hers is Ashley, but she shorts it.
Exactly. Moving on to number 2, Future Diary. I don't know anything about this show.
Me neither. It looks like
I do.
Pirate.
I do. It actually is worth watching. If you like a gory, bloody fucking anime, watch it. Literally, the summary is perfect for it. One of the most fascinating stories we've ever seen in history. The hero of this series is given a diary that can predict the future and is thrown into a battle with 11 others, where the last survivor becomes God. So literally, there's 11 people are given a diary. I think it's on their phone that can predict the future, and effectively they have to kill each other by their own hands. They have to kill each other, and the last one standing becomes God.
So they have to use a memento mori.
Effectively,
right?
Last one killing them becomes God, and it is bloody. It's gory. It's fucking worth it.
Okay.
On a side note, I learned that memento mori means remember you will die.
Yes.
Yes.
And lastly, since we're rounding out our 2-hour mark, man, these 25 lists of 25 episodes, these
Just
25
cut it in half. No, cut it in half.
No, I'm not doing anything. This is getting released as a 2-hour.
2 episodes. You get 2 in the
I am not going to do that.
There was a second list of 25.
That would be a whole separate episode.
5 fucking minutes of editing, maybe.
No, I won't do it. Period.
That means he has to edit.
We're doing this live, okay? We sat down, we had a conversation, the listeners listened to us have a conversation, and they're laughing their asses off at how little me and Edquist know about Dragon Ball or Pokemans.
My house caught on fire, it's all in there.
It is, yeah, his house caught on fire, people. And he still came back. It's insane. We do it live, no editing. Number 1 list, or number 1 anime on this list. Edquist, let's hear your take on this.
Death Note. Basically, the kid gets this weird book, and if he writes a name in it, that person dies, and there's like a ghost guy that's attached to the book that does the murdering. And then I was just going to tell you the end, but maybe I shouldn't tell you the end in case you watch it.
Yeah, I have never seen this. I know there's a live-action movie that Devin told me not to watch.
Yeah, no. Don't watch the live action.
Oh, see. People.
I will tell you what Rumble Fighter is before I let you watch a live-action movie.
Oh, snap. All right. Devin, Edquist, what was your... Do you like this show?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I think it's great.
Devin, what about you?
Devin
I think
probably
it's good
hates
ones. No. I think
it's about everything I like.
No. I think it's
well,
good
yeah.
Ones.
If you know the end, it's kind of.
If you know the end, it's not nearly as good. You watch it once, you enjoy it for what it is, and I don't think you touch it again.
I will agree with that. I've watched it twice, but yeah, I don't. Once you know the end, it's definitely different.
Yeah.
Does he write his own name in at the end? Well, did I just guess the shit out of that? Because I got nothing but silence from the pair of you.
I'm not saying anything because I don't want to get anything.
Oh.
It's literally the whole show is about reveals. So it's like talking about it, you're going to spoil something that you shouldn't spoil. So
can you ask me? Can you answer me one question?
Yes.
This monster.
Cocaine's a hell of a drug.
This monster.
Cocaine's a hell of a drug.
Yes, it is. It's also called what was it? God's
A Shinigami, which translates to Death God.
No. What did we just called this yesterday? What were we talking about the other day? I said, oh, that's cocaine. It's like God's something.
Oh, God's powder or something.
God's sugar or something. I don't fucking remember. God damn it, Devin.
No, it was Jesus is something like Jesus powder or something.
Yeah.
Like that.
Anyway, the demon thing that's connected to this notebook.
Mm-hmm.
What kind of personality does that demon have? Like, what kind of mannerisms is it? Is it very?
I'm going to
jokey?
say this.
Is it
I'm
very
going to say
serious?
this. I'm going to say this, and we're going to end it there. He likes apples.
I don't get that. I don't get that reference. I just want to know if he's like a joking kind of thing, or like, is he very serious? Like he just what's the name and then goes and kills it, and that's it.
It's kind of a combo.
It's a combo, but I mean, I don't think it's been a second. I don't think he has too much of a real hand. He doesn't have too much of a real hand in killing people. I know. Does it just?
Okay. I will watch the anime. I will watch the first. How many episodes are there? Roughly 12.
I think it's a standard 24.
24.
Yeah, 24 sounds about right.
I will watch the first episode. That's all I have to say.
Death Note has. Death Note has. Sorry, I lied. 37.
All right, we're gonna end it on this. Since we've done something for the last 3, mainly you two naming off characters. Edquist.
Mm-hmm.
If you had a Death Note notebook,
oh jeez,
would you write someone's name in it, and who, if you're willing to give that information?
I probably would not.
Oh.
I might threaten people that I'm gonna write there if they but then I'd have to prove it, I suppose, that it works. I probably would not use it, no.
Alright. Devin, what about you?
All the Kardashians.
Devin. God damn it. We need to hit that $1 million mark, people. That's all I gotta say. Devin, that legit was my answer. I'm now stumbling to figure out who I would write in the notebook instead. Anyway. Fuck, I don't know.
I just like their names.
It'd be filled. It'd be filled. The whole notebook would be filled front to back. Both sides of the pages. I'd probably
First and last thing I write would be myself.
What do you mean the first and last? So you just write your name? That's it?
Yep.
That's mean. Why would you do that to us? Yeah, no answer?
What I would do is I would legitimately just it's fucked up. What I would legitimately do is just find the most common first name, most common last name, and just write it in the book and just see what happens.
See how many people just die that day?
Yep.
Now, what happens? Does it go into this? What happens if you write a name in there that's not somebody's actual name? That's not an actual person.
There needs to be I think there needs to be intent. So I mean, you have.
Yeah, it knows who you mean.
It knows who you want. It would have to be intent.
Yeah.
All right. So, like, if I wrote in there, hypothetically, if I just wrote in there, like, Talon Nightbreeze, they'd go and kill Austin.
Or if that was your intent, then yes.
Yes. Okay. Okay. Real quick rundown, I guess. Edquist, correct me if I'm wrong. It's been a minute. If you write someone's name in the book and don't specify a date, or a cause of death, it's just a heart attack, right?
I think he gets to choose on his own if you don't.
Right. No, I'm saying if he doesn't specify, I think it's just like a heart attack or some shit like that happens.
Yeah.
But
he gets to decide when and how these people die?
Yeah, you can literally write in the book, like, this person will die on April 23rd, 2028 via car accident, or vehicular collision, and that's exactly what will happen. Or you could be like, this fucking person explodes. They just spontaneously combust on this day, and they die.
I want this notebook. Can I have access to this notebook for a day? No? God, why did nobody want to give me access to this book? I'm not allowed to have nice things.
Webby, because this is a recorded podcast and I don't want you to go to jail for premeditated murder.
Fair.
What you do in your own time, I have no control over, and neither and they can't prove.
Fair. That's right. Besides, they should hire me, and I'll find these assholes. Just
You're
like
a psychopath with a death note?
Psychopaths, yes. That's all. See? Simple as that. Anyway, so that's the list of 25, apparently, animes that you must see. Devin would have taken a couple off these lists and
replaced a couple with there. Number one would have been Yu Yu Hakusho.
I'm sure Edquist would have taken a lot of the ones off this list because he didn't know a lot of them.
Oh, apparently that green-haired dude's name is Salon.
See, I was right.
And the other chick's name is Serena.
Yeah, that's what I said.
The chick with the dress is Serena.
Yeah.
I don't know. His name's not Terry. It's Tracy. That was my fault. Tracy. I got that wrong. It's fucking Tracy. And trying to see if I can find the little fucking kid that they were talking about a second ago. I don't know.
In the jumpsuit.
Oh, his name's Clement.
Yeah.
Fucking Clement.
There we got them all.
Clement and Bonnie. There you go.
Yeah. There we go. Listeners, test me. I'll get that shit right 100% of the time.
Next episode, we're going to play Who's That Digimon, and I'm going to watch these guys fail.
Oh, my God. I actually do want to play a game on one of the next episodes that I think we all would be decent at, but honestly would probably be surprisingly bad at the same time, and that's naming Marvel or DC characters.
I'm okay with this. I mean, depending on how obscure you go, I'll be fine.
See, I think I know like quite a few of them, but I just got a poster with a shit ton of Marvel characters, and some of them I'm looking at, it's like, I don't know who you are. So, anyway, that is where we will end the episode. Edquist, where can people find you on the interwebs? You can find him muted because Tilly's barking in the background.
Nope, I just thought I was muted and then tried to unmute and muted. You can find me at Confessor_X on Twitter and at ConfessorX on Twitch.
And Devin, where can people find you?
You guys can find me on Twitch at DMP_Pookie and reverse that. Twitter at DMP_Pookie and at Twitch at Poo Killed Me. I can't talk.
And Devin, what can the listeners actually start looking forward to?
Me and Webby going to be streaming tentatively right now, Friday afternoon together. Group stream.
Yep.
We could be breaking out of prison, y'all.
Yep. Prison Break. Not the actual show Prison Break or anything, but it's almost exactly like that. And as always, everybody... What?
No, go ahead. Sorry.
No. By all means. What did you
I was gonna say to Devin that no, you do have to know the person's real name. You couldn't put down Nightbreeze. That wouldn't work. Because that's how L manages to stay alive.
True.
He only uses his initial.
True.
All right, I'm gonna have to watch this show.
There's a whole rule set.
I need to learn the rules to this. All right, and as always, you guys can follow me on Twitter at JaxForestWalker, all one word, on Twitch at DMWebby. Also, Facebook at facebook.com/simplyunprofessional, or email us for questions, comments, concerns, topic ideas, advice. Devin is really itching to try to give people advice here at simplyunprofessional@gmail.com. And as always, everybody, fuck Booster Gold.
Fuck Booster Gold.
You're talking over the end song. Now I am too.
Edquist, you can say it now.
Fuck Booster Gold.
Yes.
Be professional.